Hello and Happy New Year, Illinois All-State Chorus. I'm Carol Carlson and I have the privilege of being your conductor for this fine event. I'm pretty excited about it and I know it's going to be an exhilarating experience for everybody. So I have some tips and some notes and I hope that you'll be able to put in a little bit of time ahead of time, and I think that's going to make for a great time, again for a very memorable time for all of us and our audience for sure. So I'd encourage you to practice a little bit ahead of time, and to do that you might want to try it in short sections. Each piece, just take it and work for memory and accuracy, and that will help us along our way if everybody does that. So I'd also encourage you to sing lightly and again focus on accuracy and diction. As you'll come to know, I'm pretty much a stickler for that. So I think it helps make things more expressive when we start out with all the stuff in place. So I really love solfege if you have opportunities to work your music in solfege, and also count singing. I do a lot of that so we can line things up rhythmically this way, not just this way. So it's we have to do a lot of diligent work to make it beautiful. So let's talk about Bach, because this has a lot of notes. And again, I would encourage you to practice slowly, start without the German, and work in short sections. So just keep working at it to try to get everything memorized, even if it's not in German right away, because we will get that. But there's some challenges, of course. Lots of you have done pieces in German and it's not that unfamiliar, so we're already off to a good start. So let's talk about the pronunciation of the Bach and how it really fits in with the music itself. Bach has just written this brilliantly, which you will come to find out about where the syllabic stress is placed. So it's really, really fun to sing because it's like a dance. So it's a great, great piece. But again, lots of notes and lots of ornaments. So a lot of those 16th notes, they're just a way to get from one note to the other. So we have to be really diligent about those small notes too. They get a vote. So we have to be really, really diligent. So the text. I'm at letter B, but each of the texts are just in small phrases that are repeated. So you should be not too much trouble with the German. Okay, so auf Deutsch. Erschallet, ihr Lieder, erklinget, ihr Seiden. Okay, so some details. The ending syllable of each one of those little 3-syllable phrases, erschallet, is really much a diminuendo. So it's actually moving towards the second syllable and then away. So erschallet, ihr Lieder, erklinget, ihr Seiden. Okay, and let's see, klinget, klinget. So not klinget. No hard G in there, okay? So that repeats with all those gazillion notes, and then we're on to page 6, and this is at letter C. So, O seligste Zeiten. O seligste Zeiten. That is really tough to say. You have to practice that and make it come out of your mouth a million times. Seligste. So the ST at the end, sometimes people will say st, but it is, in this case, st. Seligste Zeiten. And a Z configuration of ink. And when we look at it as English speakers, we say Z. That's our sound. But in German, the sound that they assign to that is a TS. So we have to make sure if we're doing something in a different language that we are diligent about the preparation. So Zeiten, zu. And then we're now going on to letter D. Bases, you get to start the conversation, but everybody has the same text here for the most part. Gott will sich die Seelen zu Tempeln bereiten. So some details about that. Again, the S configuration of ink, this one that we know, in German has a Z sound attached to it. So it's Gott will sich die Seelen. And then there's zu, you recognize that. Tempeln bereiten. So be careful about that. The other thing that English speakers typically do is we want to make that like the word sich. We either want to make it a zik or a zish. So it's neither of those, depending on where you are in the country, but we're going to call it right in the middle to say sich. So if you're having trouble making that sound, because it's not typical in our English language, sich. Just pour air over your back teeth or pretend you're hissing like you're a very friendly cat. So, sich. Okay? And that's pretty much it. Again, I would encourage you to practice light, and any of the longer notes that have ties or they are dotted, we're going to drop those so that we make them short. And as you're practicing, you have to find places to breathe because there's so many notes. Don't be afraid to just leave one of those out, take a breath, sing well supported, and then come back in. Okay? This is very fun to sing. And also, so we get to the end and we go back to the beginning and then we sing through again until the fine, which is on page 8. So we have the A, B, A form. Okay? All right. Thanks. I should say, vielen Dank.